Good evening, this is Kuro. Got a tier 6 game in my Duca DAosta. Going over the matchmaking, looking at an enemy ranger, threats to my ship, pretty much all the battleships. New Mexico, Normandy, Fuso, whatever the hell this is. Pensacola, if it can catch your broadside, isn't going to be pretty. Um, Strangely, this ship handles destroyers pretty well. Um, for those that don't have any experience with the French cruisers, gonna talk a little bit about them. Um, One of the nice things, you get both defensive fire and hydro. Uh, that I feel is actually pretty decent for at least how I see the job on this ship. And the role for this ship, in my opinion, is basically to get in there close and support your destroyers. Um, so I've got a T-61 and a Nicholas up here, and I want to push up here. You see I'm checking my AA, um, trying to, I basically want to be a good teammate. I've got tools that they can't, or that they don't have. Better AA, defensive fire. I also have hydro, so I can help keep them a little bit torp safe. I know the T-61 does have hydro of its own, but you can't always rely on teammates to pop them when they should be. Like he should be popping it in about another 10 seconds or so. And he does pop it, but he also just instantly smokes up as soon as he hits the cap. Now, I'm going to use that smoke. Um, I'm just going to turn right in, and this ship handles like a little, just like a little rally car. This is a cruiser that, in my opinion, if you like to, you know, open water juke people, this is a really fun ship to play. Is this cruiser for everyone? Hell no. It's got a really short gun range. The guns themselves are pretty fantastic. Now this Nicholas is running this line of smoke up even further, and um, you can see the maneuverability there. Now I'm not shooting here because I want to basically use this smoke to disengage. If I couldn't complete this turn unless I did this. Unless I basically held my fire, didn't get detected. I've got my own hydro up. I know there's a kamikaze R out there. I don't think I can rely on my own destroyers for the hydro. And I see this Gremiashi just doing a crazy move here. Uh, Now, regarding the torps, you've got good angles. They're slow as hell. Uh, but these torps have 12-kilometer range, so something to kind of consider. They're really spammy torpedoes, so just sling them out there when you get a chance. Maybe you hit something, maybe you don't. And I mean, this Gremiashi is really making a mistake pushing in here. Not everybody has experience with this ship, so they may not know. This ship has hydro, things like that. Um, but that's a dead. Yeah, the dinosaurs are awake. Sorry, guys. That's a very dead tier 5 battle or destroyer that he's just too aggressive. Now I'm just taking my time. I want to get my. There's smoke all over the place out here, uh, and I just want to, get my guns in place. I just want to focus this Pensacola down. This captain, it's a good captain for a tier 6. I think this is a 15-point captain. Basically, got concealment expert, IFHE, and I believe, demo expert on it. This isn't a ship that you're going to start a ton of fires with. But the AP on this ship can be pretty troll if you can get in under 10 kilometers. It's really fast, really flat shooting. Um, and this is a ship that when you have like light cruiser lines drop, this is a really fun ship to go out there and dual cruisers with. Right here, I'm just kiting away, just working on punishing things. I'm trying to prioritize this New Mexico over uh, that Russian battleship simply because I know my IFHE will rip into that guy a lot better than it will the however the hell you say that. I'm not Russian. So, got a low kamikaze R, gonna try to finish this guy off. It almost looks like he doesn't have um, last stand for some reason, so I just dropping those shots right on him. Uh, Again, just spamming torpedoes out there. I'm expecting this guy uh, to pretty much just keep kiting in that direction. It now the downside to this ship, it is a cruiser. You are going to get citadeled and stuff like that. And at this point, I'm just going to repair my engine. I'm going to angle to the Peter Veliki or whatever the hell it is. I think Wargaming's trolling us with these names. But what I'm doing right here, I'm letting these battleships, their attention kind of focus on something else. I'm the only really squishy thing over here that they can really punish. So I don't want to... I want these guys distracted so it'll buy me a little bit of time to work on these guys. Now, the New Mexico is kiting well out now, so I am going to start shooting at this Russian battleship. And you're going to see the difference between their armor protection scheme and the New Mexico right away. Uh, I mean, shatters. I mean, I don't understand. That looked like it hit the smokestack. I don't understand how that's shattering, but it's one of those things. They just have an armor scheme that seems like it's really well suited to holding up to IFHE HE spam. I'm actually changing my reticle so I can zoom in here, and I'm doing that because it's seeming like this battleship requires really precise targeting to get any sort of damage out of it. So I just can't, kind of sling shells in its general direction. He takes notice of me, goes to shoot. I just slam on the brakes and turn in. And I mean, you can kind of get a feel for just how maneuverable this ship is, just watching how radically it turns. Now that can be a good thing, it can also be a bad thing. You can overturn in this thing really bad if you're not really minding your P's and Q's. Um, that's something that when I initially got this ship, it surprised me how much get up and go this ship had. It's a little slow off the line, but once you get it up, over half speed, it's pretty solid. I was gonna see if AP would be a better ammo type there now that I was getting a little closer. Unfortunately, my team said he had to die, so I'm just gonna swap to this New Mexico. Uh, and the reason why I'm not engaging ships in front of me is this guy's the big threat to me. He's on basically the broadside of me. Uh, I'm able to push in here where I get some concealment and pop in my spotter plane, see if I could see what was going on. Now, the spotter plane is something to consider. This is a ship that if I would spend the coal to buy the spotter plane upgrade just for the longer flight time. Just because there are situations, particularly when you're bottom tier, where that 16.8 kilometer range is going to help you out tremendously. This ship, when you're bottom tier, think Atlanta with 16.8 kilometer range. That's probably the best way I can describe it. Uh, Obviously, you want to support your destroyers if you can, but this thing facing tier 8 battleships, you're not doing what I did, approaching right up on ACAP, because a New Mexico or a North Carolina or pretty much any other 16-inch gun battleship is going to shoot right through this thing. Uh, Faster than Taco Bell goes right through my kids. Uh, so there is definitely a bit of caution that you need to exercise when you're talking about taking this ship out in bottom tier situations. Here, I know that we're probably going to win this game, and I'm starting to switch a little bit into the damage farming mode. I'm not going full blown where I'm just hunting damage. Um, I knew I was going to be briefly spotted there, and I was just trying to get a couple shots out there, maybe get lucky, get a fire or something like that. I see the enemy Fubuki. Or actually, that's an Icarus, not a Fubuki. Trying to help my Fuso out with the AA. Now this is really dangerous here. I know that this New Mexico's here. I'm gonna try to slam on the brakes. I was just trying to see if I could spot this Icarus, and I think I got inside. Um, Actually, he's sitting outside of smoke right now. I think that's what's doing it, or it might be my Hydra. The New Mexico hits me pretty good, and just kiting back, finish off the Icarus. Now, a lot of stuff's going to start happening at once here. You saw I took a perspective torpedo shot at the New Mexico. Um, I'm working on the Ranger, switching to AP. He's broadside. He's a little far out there, but he doesn't have a lot of armor from a broadside perspective. The Ranger's trying to drop me. That's pretty funny with this ship. And I'm watching the mini-map. I can see he's probably going to try to drop me again. There goes the New Mexico. There goes the CV. And I'm already switching targets to the Normandy. Normandy's going to get one hit here. CV wastes his last drop on me. And now I'm just going to use these islands to my advantage. I have achieved uh, basically the perfect use of my HP over this game. That's what I'm gonna call it. Actually, not really, because I don't believe I have adrenaline rush on this captain yet, so I'm not really reaping the rewards here, but I am just gonna keep pounding on this Normandy. Now, for those of you wondering how I shoot over the islands like this, uh, it really is experience. I'm taking a look at the mini map, seeing his direction line, and then I'm just judging how far down from his icon I need to aim. And I mean, there's a lot of guys that do tricks pressing M to check their angle. I look at it through the mini map and I get a pretty good solid idea of what angle they're going, how fast they're going. Get off those blinds, buddy. But anyway, this game, 85,000 damage, Kraken, double strike, always amusing. Um, it's a fairly decent moneymaker. Um, honestly, I play this ship because I think it's a hoot and a half to go out there and play. It's challenging because of its gun range, but it's a joy to drive because. Excuse you. Do you want to get in on this? All right, here we go. Just because how well the ship handles. Um, but again, this isn't a ship for everybody. It's not going to be something like Belfast uh, where you have a measure of like strength that carries even when you're in an up tiered or even when you're bottom tier. This ship, it does get painful when you are up tiered, and it's a becomes a matter of how you play it. And the more bottom tier you are, the more passive you've got to play. Um, but don't let it stop you. I've had phenomenal tier 8 games, um, use an island cover, things like that, and just playing it sort of like how I play my Atlanta. And the HE it's a lot more forgiving than Atlanta. With its arcs, you're able to consistently hit at max gun range. Um, and yeah, um, if you get missions and stuff like that trying to farm citadels, this can be a really fun ship to bring out just because its AP can be really interesting. I mean, you saw a little bit of it there with the Ranger, um, and that's another really fun thing I like to do. Um, so anyway, gonna go on ahead and cut this one off. I have a naked dinosaur running around the house that I need to corral and get a diaper on. So you guys have a good night. If you've got any questions or comments, leave them below, and I will talk to you later.